Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we are going to study a very important biological topic, and that is mitochondria. Mitochondria are present in all eukaryotic cells. Very important. Mitochondria are present in all eukaryotic cells. Singular for mitochondria is mitochondrion, and all eukaryotic cells contain mitochondria. Some cells have a single large mitochondrion, but more often a cell has hundreds or even thousands of mitochondria. The number correlates with the cell's level of metabolic activity. Well, some cells have a single large mitochondrion, okay, but more often, these cells have hundreds or even thousands of mitochondria. The number correlates with the cell's level of metabolic activity, that how much metabolic activity is going on in a cell. That is the basic factor that determines the number of mitochondria in a given cell. For example, cells that move or contract have proportionally more mitochondria per volume than less active cells. For example, uh, eukaryotic cells that have to move or they contract have proportionally more mitochondria per volume than less active cells. Mitochondria are capable to divide themselves, self-replicating. In order to increase their numbers, they divide by fission. Mitochondria are capable to divide themselves. They can self-replicate, and we should know that mitochondria have their own DNA, their own RNA, and ribosomes. They have their own uh, protein manufacturing machinery, and they can self-replicate in order to increase their numbers, and they are called self-replicating organelles, or they are also called semi-autonomous organelles. They divide by fission like bacteria do. Mitochondria are cylindrical or rod-shaped structures. Mitochondria are cylindrical or rod-shaped structures. They are enclosed by double membrane, the outer membrane and the inner membrane. The outer membrane is smooth and somewhat like a sieve due to presence of porins. Okay, mitochondria is a double membrane bound eukaryotic cell organelle. They are enclosed by double membranes, the outer membrane and the inner membrane. The outer membrane is smooth and somewhat like a sieve. It contains pores. Why? Due to the presence of porins. It is like a sieve that can filter substances, that can allow some substances to pass through it, while allows other to move at a particular site. These are special proteins responsible for the transport of molecules across the membrane. These are special proteins. These are responsible for the transport of molecules across the membrane. Purines allows free passage of various molecules into the intermembrane space. Purines allow free passage of various molecules into the intermembrane space. The inner membrane is selectively permeable and folded inwards. When we come about the inner membrane, that is selectively permeable. The folds are called cristae, which serve to increase the surface area. The folds are called cristae, and these serve to increase the surface area. The inner surface of cristae has granular structures called F0, F1 particles. These particles are actually ATP synthase. These particles are actually ATP synthase enzymes. In addition, several other complexes are also found in inner mitochondrial membrane, which serve as electron carriers in electron transport chain. In addition, there are several other complexes that are also found in inner mitochondrial membrane, and these serve as electron carriers in electron transport chain. The inner membrane divides the mitochondrion into two internal compartments. The first is the intermembrane space, the narrow region between the inner and outer membranes. So there is a intermembrane space, and the inner membrane divides the mitochondrion into two internal compartments. This is inner membrane, and it has divided the mitochondrion into two compartments. This is one compartment in the membrane, and the other compartment is outside the membrane. The first is the intermembrane space, the narrow region between the inner and outer membrane. The second compartment, the mitochondrial matrix, is enclosed by the inner membrane. Mitochondrial matrix is a jelly-like material that contains a small circular DNA, all kinds of RNA, ribosomes, and enzymes. It is very important. We studied last time that there is the ability, they have the capability to divide themselves. Why? They have this ability because they have a small circular DNA, all kinds of RNA, ribosomes, and enzymes. The presence of these components indicates that mitochondria have their own genetic system. They have their own genetic system. It means the proteins which are required by mitochondria are synthesized by their own metabolic machinery, because they have the basic metabolic apparatus, so they can synthesize their own proteins. Mitochondria are the sites of cellular respiration, the metabolic process that uses oxygen to generate ATP by extracting energy from sugars, fats, and other organic compounds. It is the first function that mitochondria are the sites of cellular respiration. Enzymes in the matrix catalyze some of the steps of cellular respiration, like Krebs cycle. Other proteins that function in ATP generation through electron transport chain are found into the inner membrane. So it was our today's topic, mitochondria. Here, uh, there is a short note. We will study the short note tomorrow, inshallah. And today it is only for mitochondria introduction. So you can listen our lesson again and again, and can study from book, and can also share your questions with us. We will try to answer your questions uh, well in time. Thank you.